Very good evening to all the participants present here. We have with us our subject matter expert, Mr. Shaurya. Shaurya, sir, we welcome you. We can start the webinar and discuss the question paper now, sir. Thank you. Over to you.
Thank you, Jitin.
Good evening
to everyone. I hope I am audible clearly. You could just give me a thumbs up in the chat. Okay, so today we had the maths exam for ISE class 10th. I just shortly received the paper. I just took some snips and got it into a presentation. So we, through this course of the presentation, will try to discuss each of the questions, barring maybe the graphs one, the mode and the median via the algebra. So let's begin. I'll just share my screen first. Okay, so we may begin, I suppose. Once again, welcome to all of you. We are here for the discussion of class 10th ICSE Mathematics, which examination which got conducted today. As we are aware, it was term 2 for 40 marks, which was basically divided into 2 sections. Section A had 10 MCQs of 1 mark each. There were no choice in this section. And out of section B, each question had 3 subparts with a total of 10 marks. So a student had to do any 3. That would make 10 into 3, 30 marks from section B. Okay, so I suppose we could start. If at all I go wrong at some place in some calculation or something else, please hold yourself. Once we are done with the entire discussion, I would love to talk to you about anything. Okay, so coming to first MCQ, the probability of getting the probability of getting a number divisible by 3 in a throwing of a single dice. So if I define A as the event of getting 3 or 6, that is the only 2 possible options which would be divisible by 3. My number of favorable outcomes comes out to 2. And as we already know, the number or the sample space number of all the possible outcomes in a throw of a die once are 6, all the digits from 1 to 6. So the required probability of event A is basically 2 upon 6, which would be 1 upon 3, right? So option B would be correct answer. Let's come to question 2. It says the volume of a conical tent is 462 meter cube with the area of the base, which basically means we already have pi r square as a whole given to us as 154 meter square. We are required to calculate the height. Now we already have a simple formula for a volume of a cone, that is 1 by 3 pi r square h, 1 by 3rd the volume of the cylinder. So we can simply put h on one side, which will give me 3b upon the entire pi r square, which is given as a in the question. So I'll do this calculation here. It's 3 into 462 upon 154. Now it's a perfect multiple, 462 of 154. It's into 3. So 3 3s are 9 meter would be the height of this cone. So again in this slide, option C is correct. In the first question it was option B. In the second question it is option C. We can move to the next question, I suppose. The third question reads, the median class of a given distribution is this. We can see the class, interval and frequency, and we are only asked about the median class. We need not calculate the entire median. So for the first question, the classes are 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40, with the respective frequencies as 2, 4. I cannot see this. I'll just have to move the slider. Just a minute. That's the top question. It's 3 and 5. Yeah, I have it now. 3 and 5. So these are the frequencies. These are the classes. we need to have a table for CF that will give me 2, 6, 9, and 14. So my value of n out here is 14. So n by 2 would be 7. So my median class would be just above it, that is 20 to 30. So my correct answer would be C again. If two lines are perpendicular to one another, then the relation between their slopes, it's a standard question. We already know the two perpendicular lines with their slopes as m1 and m2, their product must be -1. So the correct answer out here is option D. Coming to the next question, that is the fifth one. A lighthouse is 80 meters. We already did this. Let me recorrect them, 20 to 30. Yeah, coming back to the fifth question, it says a lighthouse is 80 meter high. The angle of elevation of its top from a point 80 meter away from its foot along the same horizontal line is what? This is needed to be calculated, theta, let's say, and the height is given as 80. It's simple calculation. Tan theta in this right angle triangle, it might not look as it, but this is the right angle triangle. Tan theta comes out to be 80 upon 80, which will give me 1. And we already know the acute angle for which tan will give the value 1 is only tan 45 degree. So the correct answer here is option B, 45 degree. We can move to the next question now, that is question 6. The modal class of a given distribution always corresponds to the interval with highest frequency. So we need not even read the remaining three options. The first one happens to be correct. Coming to the next question, the coordinates of the point P, that is -3, 5, on reflecting on the x-axis, right? So let's say I have this as my x-axis and this as my y-axis. Let's say this point is -3 and let's say this is 5. So this is the point we are talking about, right? This is -3, 5, this point. Its reflection taken across the x-axis would be this point, right? So you can see it clearly. It would be simply -3, -5. So the option B here is correct. The reflection of the coordinate of point P, which was this was a point P, -3, 5. Its reflection came out to be, let's say, at point Q, which has the coordinates -3, -5, making B as the correct answer. Let's turn ourselves to question 8. Again, we have a cyclic quadrilateral. We have been given two opposite angles of the cyclic quadrilateral, angle A and angle C. The first one reads 2x plus 5. And we are asked to calculate the value of x, I suppose. Let me again just shift this tab. Yes, we have been asked to calculate the value of angle x. So we have a simple property out here for any cyclic quadrilateral, which means a quadrilateral which all its vertices resting on the circumference of a circle. The sum of opposite angles is always 180 degrees. So I can take my first angle 2x plus 5, that is angle C, and I can add angle, sorry, that was angle A. I can add the angle C, that is x plus 10 to it. And these two angles are supplementary. That means they add up to be 180 degree. It's a simple linear equation. 3x plus 15 is 180 degrees, which will give me 3x is equal to 165 and x is equal to 55 degree. That gives option C as the correct answer to question 8, MCQ number 8. We can turn ourselves to question 9. We have been given the three vertices, the coordinates of the three vertices of a triangle ABC. If the centroid of the triangle is G, then x is equal to. Okay, so the x coordinate of C is missing basically, right? So let's say if I have a triangle ABC, we already have the coordinates. Let's say B is 4, 1. C, the coordinate value, one of them is unknown, which is to be found in this question, x, 4, and the coordinate A is 1, 4. Now for the finding the coordinates of the centroid, that is the meeting point of the medians of a triangle, let's say G, we know that G coordinates are simply given by the mean of the respective let's say x1 plus x2 plus x3 upon 3, comma y1 plus y2 plus y3 upon 3. So we can just take the x coordinate of the centroid. Since x is to be found, it is 4, is equal to x coordinate of point A, which is 1, x coordinate of point B, which is 4, and the unknown x coordinate of point C, which is x whole divided by 3. So that will give me 12 is equal to x plus 5, or x is equal to 7. So we have our ninth answer. The x coordinate of point C is 7. So point C was basically 7, 4. I hope it's clear. Coming to the last MCQ, that is the 10th one. What we have here, let's see. The radius of a roller 100 centimeter long is 14 centimeters. So let's say this is a roller, more like we use to roll cricket pitches, let's say. Its radius is given as 14 centimeter. There should not be any question. 100 centimeter is not the radius, right? It's the length or the height of this cylindrical roller. It's given as 100 centimeter. We have been asked to calculate the curved surface area. So CSA of a cylinder is simply 2 pi r h. And we have been instructed to use the value of pi as 22 upon 7. Let's plug in the values. 2 into 22 upon 7. The radius is 14 into 100. 7 2s are 14. 22 4s are 88 into 100 is 8800 centimeters square would be the curved surface area of this roller, making D as the correct answer. Okay. So I hope we are done with section A here, which comprised of 10 multiple choice questions. Let's turn ourselves to section B. Let's first talk about question 2. It's a simple trigonometric identity using basic algebra. So it's been asked to prove that 1 by 1 plus sine theta plus 1 upon 1 minus sine theta has to be shown equal to 2 sec square theta. So I can straight away begin with LHS since there is a lot to process out there. So I can take a common LCM of both the terms to be added. It's 1 plus sine theta multiplied with 1 minus sine theta, and the numerator would give me 1 minus sine theta to be added with 1 plus sine theta. So these brackets in the numerator makes no sense since the sign between them is positive. So I can simply subtract, or rather cancel off this minus sine theta and plus sine theta in the numerator. I'm left with 2 upon this denominator, which can be used or simplified rather using a simple algebraical identity. A plus b into a minus b is a square minus b square, which gives me 1 minus sine square theta, which indeed can be written as 2 upon cos square theta, and the reciprocal of cos theta we already know as sec square theta. So we have the desired results in maybe just 2 to 3 steps. So I hope this stands done. It can be simply 2. Coming to this, just a minute, please. I think I have skipped a page. Yeah, this is the next page. The order went wrong. The second part of that second question, right? As I said, section B, each question has normally 2, 3 to 4 subparts, making a total of 10. Okay, so as we can see, the last 2 questions, that is third and fourth part, of 3 marks, while the first and second were of 2 marks. So what we just did at proof equal to 2 sec square theta was of 2 marks. Let's turn ourselves to the next one. Find A if 3 coordinates, these are collinear. So we have been given 3 points. It's 2a plus 2, comma 3. The second point happens to be 7, comma 4. The third point is 2a plus 5, comma 2. We have to show that if these points are collinear. And what does collinear point means? All the points which lie on a same straight line. So if these 3 points have been given to us and they have been told it's collinear, we have been asked to calculate the value of A. Now this question can be attempted in several ways. First could be we take any 2 points We apply distance formulas. We show that AB plus BC comes out equal to AC. This is only possible when these 3 points are collinear. Next thing that could be done is, if these 3 points are taken to be the vertices of a triangle, then we can calculate the area of the triangle, right? We also have a formula for area of the triangle, that is x minus x1 and so on. The determinant, I don't know, that's there in class 10, most probably it won't be there. So this also can be shown. If this comes out equal to 0, then still the point A can be found out using this. Okay, so I guess it's a simple question, it can be done. I'll move ahead to the next question. Calculate the mean of the following frequency distribution. So it's not been mentioned via which method the mean has to be calculated. So we can do it in a simple manner. The classes out here are 5 to 15, 15 to 25, 25 to 35, 35 to 45, and from 45 to 55. So the first thing, we can calculate the class marks. Let's call them X with a subscript I. It's 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50. The corresponding frequencies have been given. There are 2, 6, 4, 8, 4. These are Fi. So the direct method says simply find the product of the corresponding variable with its frequency. It's 20, it's 120, it's again 120, 8 fours are 320, 5 fours are 200. Next, we find the summation of this particular column, that is Xi Fi. So it's 0, 8, and 7. So the mean in this case is simply summation of Xi Fi upon summation of Fi, which would be 780 divided by summation of frequencies, which you can quickly add. 8 plus 2, 10, 6 plus 4, 10, 24. Okay. By 24. So now we can cancel out this fraction. This will basically give us the required mean. Okay, I hope this is easy and clear. We can move to the next question. Okay, I'll have to drop this. Give me a moment, please. Okay, so we can take the next question. That is the fourth part of question 2. In this figure, we have a circle with center O, and from an external point P, we have 2 tangents drawn. So it's P, it's Q, and the other point hits at point R. Let's join this point OQ and OR. Sorry, this is R. Now this angle has been given to us as 70 degree. Before I draw the remaining figure, we already know since it's a tangent, it will be making 90 degree with the corresponding radius. So in this particular quadrilateral PQOR, we know as a property of a quadrilateral, sum of the angles must be 360 degrees, right? So a couple of angles are already known to us as 90. That leaves us this angle P, which is given as 70, and the angle O out here. This must be supplementary. Their sum must be 180 degrees. So this angle simply comes out to be 110 degree. That is 180 minus 70 degrees, right? This was first thing that was to be determined in this question. Calculate angle QOR, which we just calculated to be 110 degree, right? I'll just repeat it. In this in this quadrilateral PQOR, we already had the angle Q and angle R as 90 degree, and the third angle given to us was 70 degree. So we could either do it this way. It's basically 360 minus sum of all the remaining 3 angles, 70 plus 90 plus 90, which would again fetch me 110 degrees as my first answer. The second question was asked, there's a point S, there's no information about it, so it could be anywhere on this RQR. Let's draw these chords QS and SR, right? So I could just simplify this figure. This was my circle with center O. I had some point here Q, which was the meeting point of the tangent PQ. I had a point R, which was the meeting point of tangent PR with the circle. And now I have taken a point S. So this is what we are talking about. Spare the diagram. Now this angle we have already ascertained to be 110 degree. We can simply use the property that the angle subtended by an arc at the center is twice than at the circumference. So this angle is to be determined now, angle QSR, let's call it X. So we know for sure this angle has to be twice of it, 2X. Now this 2X angle, we already know it, the complete angle is 360. So 360 minus 110 degree, that gives me 250 degrees. So the desired angle which is asked in the question is QSR is X, that is half of this, that will be 250 upon 2 is 125 degree. So we have also calculated out this angle. The first answer was 110 degrees. The second one came out to be 125 degree. Okay. So let's move to the next question of section B, that is question 3. Let me just get rid of all these markings. Okay. So yeah, we can come to question 3. A bag contains a set of different color balls, right? 5 white, 2 red, and 3 black balls. A ball is drawn at random. What is the probability that the ball drawn is red? There are 2 red balls upon the total number of balls, which is 10. So the desired answer for picking up a red ball in a single draw from the bag is 1 upon 5. This is a simple answer, 1 upon 5, which will fetch you 2 marks. Going to the second part, we have a solid cone. This is the second part. We're done with the first one. A solid cone of radius 5 centimeters. So let's have a cone first. Its radius is given as 5 centimeter and its height, altitude is given as 9 centimeter. It's melted and made into small cylinders of radius. So it's basically melted into small cylinders, right? So any question like this, when a shape changes into some other thing without any wastage of the material, the quantity to be conserved is volume. So in this transition, the only quantity which will be conserved is volume. Let's continue reading the question. So these radius of these cylinders, small cylinders, happen to be 0.5 centimeters and their height is 1.5 centimeter. So we have all the required parameters for finding the volume of a cone, which would be its radius given as 5 centimeter and its height as 9 centimeter. And for the cylinder, each of them, which is a small cylinder, so we ideally been asked to calculate the number of cylinders. Let's call them n cylinders to begin with. Each of the cylinder has a height of 1.5 centimeter with radius 0.5 centimeter. Sorry. Now volume of the cone is 1 upon 3 pi r square h. Let me use r with the subscript c for cone and h with the subscript c for the height of cone. This volume has to be equal to n times the volume of each cylinder, which will be again 1. So sorry, it will be pi r square h. Out here I can just leave them blank. So this one is for the cylinder and the prior term is for the cone. Now it's always suggested in mensuration question, never plug in the values, because what we can do right now is we can cancel off this pi and pi. Keep the n which is to be found on one side. What that will give me is rc square h square upon 3 r square h. Sorry, there's not h square, it's just h, right? Now I can just plug in my values. This all the data is already in centimeters, so we need not convert any unit. Radius of cone is 5. So it's 5 square multiplied by 9, that is the height of cone, divided by 3 multiplied by 0.5 ka square, that is radius of each cylinder, multiplied by height of each cylinder, that is 1.5. So since both of these terms have squares, they can be simplified within. That will give me basically 10 square. Again, this 1.5 into 3 is 4.5, which into 2 is 9. So I'll have 2 into 10 square or 200. So 200 is the requisite number of cylinders which we'll get from melting this big cone and making small cylinders. So we have got this value of n equal to 200 cylinders. Okay. So let's get rid of this. Okay, so let's write the answers. This was 1.5, this was 200. The next question we have here is a 3-marker question. It's based on height and distance. You can see the figure clearly, I suppose. 2 lamp posts of equal heights, as they're seen to be, A, B, and C, D, each of 100 meters, are on either side of the road. So basically, this is the road what has been given to us, right? That distance BD is the width of the road between these 2 lamp posts, A, B, and C, D of equal height. The angle of elevation of the top of the lamp post from point P, and this P definitely is not the midpoint, because had it been the midpoint, these 2 angles of elevations to the respective top of the 2 lampposts would have been equal, right? So as seen clearly in the figure, this point P is more towards the right hand side. Okay. Next, we have been given these angle of elevations from this point P to the top of the lamppost AB, which is 40 degree. And similarly, the angle of elevation from point P to the top of lamppost TD is 60 degree. We have been asked to calculate the distance PB and PD. Basically, these are the distance which we intend to calculate, right? These distances. Just, yeah. Okay, so from the first, let's do one thing. Let's name them something. Let's call this as X and let's call this as Y. It's a simple question. We can apply tan, since it's involving the height and base of the right angle triangle. In the first triangle, I can write tan 40 degree is equal to 100 upon X, and the second triangle, that is PCD, I can write tan of 60 degree is equal to 100 upon Y. So obviously there might have been a misprinting. I'm not aware of it. Since 40 is not a standard value, I most probably hope that value would have been 45 degree most probably. So let's take it 45 since, or it could have been 30 as well. Most probably it would have been 45. So X comes out as 100 upon tan 45, which is simply 1. So 100 meters would be this distance. So this BP comes out as 100 meter. Similarly, from the next triangle, that was triangle PCD, where we wrote tan 60 is height upon base, 100 upon Y. It will give me Y is equal to 100 upon tan 60, which is root 3. So let's rationalize this. So this would be 100 root 3 upon 3. This is the distance PD. This is 100 upon 3 root 3 meters. So we have found both the desired things which were asked in the question. Okay, I hope we can move to the next question. There would be a fourth part for this. Yeah, here it is. So again, we have a question from statistics. Out here, it will not be possible to draw the graph, but the question read, the data for 100 students are given with the class marks as 5, 15, and so on, with the frequency as 5, 15, 20. Okay, draw a histogram for the given data and find the mode. Okay, so we can just talk of the basic essence. What we do here, let's say if this is a, yeah, just a minute. Yeah. Let's say we have a graph. So we'll have these intervals. Now those are like 10, 20, and so on the x-axis. We'll have rectangular bars for each of them. Let's say out here, the scale was clearly told that this distance should have been 2 centimeters. This was very precise. Even out here, this 10 units. So this distance would have been 2 centimeters. So we can so on sketch the scale of the graph. This graph is for the frequency, out this is for the x. So for the first example, this was the rectangle. For the second, it was 15. That would have been something like this, and so on. So how do we basically get the mode via such graphs? I hope you remember, we take the modal rectangle, we join this point, that is the rectangle with the highest value of frequency or the modal class. We take and join this point to the adjacent rectangle with a straight line, and similarly this vertex of this modal rectangle with the left side And this point of intersection, we drop a perpendicular, and this value out here will give me the mode, right? I hope it's a standard process in statistics and you have done ample of practice to get it correct. Okay, I hope come to the next question, that is question 4. Just clear up this slide. Yeah. So here we are. The next subjective question, that is question 4. Find a point P, or rather the coordinates of point P, which divides internally a line segment with the endpoints A, B with the respective coordinates as -3, 9 and 1, -3 in the ratio 1:3. So idea is this is a midpoint. I have divided now this line segment into 4 equal parts. So we are looking at this point P, right? Since this is 1 and this is 3 parts. So in the ratio 1:3, this point P is dividing. We need to calculate its coordinates. So it's again a standard formula for the section formula, as we call it. It's the coordinates are given as mx2 plus nx1 by m plus n. And why I have drawn a figure? Because we always multiply them cross. So if this has been taken as x2, this will be 1. So that will give me the x coordinate as -3 into 3 plus 1 into 1 whole divided by 1 plus 3. This would be the x coordinate of point P. So we can do the simplification. It's -9 plus 1, that is -8 upon 4, which will give us -2. So this point, the x coordinate is -2. Let's similarly find the y coordinate for point P. Again, let's do the same thing. 9 into 3 plus -3 into 1 divided by 1 plus 3, that is 4. So it's 27 minus 3, that is 24 by 4, that is again giving me an integer 6. So the y coordinate of point P is 6. So this is the requisite answer, -2, 6. That is part 1 for question 4. It's -2, 6 is the correct answer. I'll have to, okay, we have the screen. So part 2 of question 4, we have English words, secondary. We have been asked if a letter is chosen at random from this alphabets making up this word, what is the probability that the letter selected is a not a vowel? Okay, yeah, it's important, not word, not a vowel. It has to be a consonant. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 alphabets making up this word. With the good thing being that there are no repetitions as such, right? We have 9 different alphabets. Now, how many among them are vowels? E is a vowel, O is a vowel, A is a vowel, right? So among these 9, I have 3 vowels and remaining 6 consonants. Now, it has been asked if we, let's say, pick one out of these 9 alphabets, what is the probability of being not a vowel or a consonant? So number of consonant is 6 upon the total number of alphabet was 9. The answer would be 2 upon 3. Simple question from probability. Let's come to the third question. Again, it's a graphical question. What does it say? Let's try to at least see what can be done here. Use a graph paper for this question. Again, the scale has been given. Take 2 centimeters is equal to 1 unit on both the axes. We need to plot 4 points first. Let's approximately do that. Point A is 0, 4. Let's say this is that point. This is, let's say, point A with the coordinates 0, 4. The second point we have with us is 2, 2. So let's say somewhere here. This is, let's say, point B, which is 2, 2. Point C is 5, 2. So let's say if this was 2, 2, this would be somewhere in the same line. Just spare me, there's something wrong with this. Yeah, we have this point and this point. Then the point D is 4, 0. Again, it would be a point here on the x-axis, 4, 0. That is point D. And point E is the origin. Chalo, thank God I have at least one point here. Reflect point BCD with their B prime, C prime, D prime as their mirror image across the y-axis. So B key mirror image across this would be, again, the height would remain same. It will become -2, 2. So this point is B dash. For C, this point was 5, 2. So its mirror image would be again here. That would be -5, 2. This is C dash. And D dash is again 4, 0 becomes, just a minute. So sorry. This point C was, where did it go? Yeah, C was 5, 2. So it became -5, 2. I wrote it correct only. The last point was 4, 0. It became -4, 0. Now this is done. Join the points A, B, C would be in straight line somewhere here, let's say. C. Then comes D. It will go back a bit since 5 se kam hai 4. We go to E, that is along the x-axis. Back to, from D we went to straight to D dash, this point. And then to, again, C dash, that would be a bit away. Back to B dash and back to A. This is what I'm getting here. This, more like a boat-shaped photo. We've been asked to name it. How many shapes does it have? Sides does it have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's a closed figure formed of straight lines with 7 of them. It's called a heptagon. Right? It's a heptagon. I hope I was able to justify this question with this blurred graphical representation. So I guess we can turn up to the next question now. Just give me a moment. Yeah. Coming to the next question, that is the fourth part of question 4. We have a solid cylinder out of which 2 conical depressions have been drilled out. Find the volume of the remaining area. So volume of the total figure would be basically pi r square h, where r and h would be the radius and height of the cylinder, minus 2 identical cones being dug out of it, right? So 2 times 1/3 pi. Let's put RC square and HC, right? Where RC and HC, just like the last question, represents the radius and height of the cone respectively. Okay. I guess for simplification, we can take pi common, and it gets r square h minus 2/3 RC square HC. We can plug in the values. Again, it's 22/7. The radius of the cylinder is 6 square into height is 16 minus 2/3. RC is, the radius of the cone is given as 2 centimeter. That will be 2 square. Multiplied, the depth of each of the conical depression is height 6 centimeters. Okay, 2 cones each of radius this and height 6 centimeters. Okay, this is 6. Done. We have all the data put in. Let's simplify it. 22/7. This is 36 into 16 minus 8, 6 are 48/3. So let's take the LCM. 3, 16, 3 is 48 into 36 minus 48 into 22/7, obviously. I could take 48 common, that will be 36 minus 1, 35. So that will simplify our calculation. 22/7 into 48 into 35 upon 3. 7 5s are 35. 16 3s are 48. 16 5s are 80. And 22 8s is 176 into 10. So final answer comes out to be 1760 centimeter cube. 1760 centimeter cube. I hope we have got the calculations correct the first time. Okay. I hope we are done with the entire, all the 4 subparts of question 4. We can turn ourselves to the next question. Okay. So in this question 5, the first question will simply use, I suppose, yeah, it's the product of the segments of this chord are same, right? So from this I can write, since AB and CD are chords which are externally meeting at point E, I can write EA into EB must be equal to EC into ED. So let's take this distance CD to be X. What is to be found out? So EA is given as 3. AB is given as 5, which makes this total distance as 5 plus 3, 8 centimeters. Let's write 8 here. Again, EC is given as 2. And ED would be basically, let's take this entire distance to be X for simplicity. So I'm calling it ED to be X. So I get my X equal to 12. Now what is asked in the question is just CD, which will simply be ED minus EC. Now this X is already ED, which we have calculated. So 12 minus EC, which is 2, will give me the requisite answer, that is 10 centimeter. So this answer is 10 centimeter, 2 marker question. Let's talk about the next question we have here. There are two lines A, B. This one is A and this is B. So this line is AB and this line is CD. They are perpendicular to each other. We have been asked a couple of things. First is to calculate the slope of CD. I hope it's very simple. Slope can directly be given as y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1. We already have 2 points. I think it's 4, 3, that is point D. And this point is 0, minus 1. It's our choice which point to call as x1, y1 and which to call as x2, y2. I have taken it arbitrarily. So y2 is 3 minus y1 is minus 1 upon x2 is 4 minus x1 is 0. 3 minus minus 1 is 4 upon 4. 1 is the answer. So slope of CD is plus 1. Let's try to calculate the equation of AB. Now, what can be used out here? Since we only have one point lying on AB, that is, I have a point at least known to me which lies on the given line whose equation is to be found out, this 4, 0. What else do we have here? That was important. We have the slope of this line AB. And how? One of the MCQ question, I hope we remember. Slope of AB should be simply minus 1 divided by slope of the perpendicular line to itself, which is CD, which was basically what we calculated in the first part. So slope of AB is simply minus 1 upon 1, that is again minus 1. So we have a coordinate, let's say x1, y1, and a slope of a line. Now we can use a standard thing. The equation of a line is y minus y1 is equal to m into x minus x1. So y minus the coordinate of y1 is 0 is equal to m, which is minus 1 x minus 4. Let's just synthesize this result a bit. So we'll have x going on that side plus y equal to 4. X plus y equal to 4 would be the equation of line AB. So the equation of this line is x plus y minus 4 equal to 0, or we may write x plus y equal to 4. Okay. So we're done with the second part of question 5, both finding the slope of CD as well as calculating, or sorry, finding out the equation of line AB. Okay. We can turn ourselves to the third part. Again, it's a trigonometric identity. These are easy, I suppose. Keep on solving them, they keep on happening in themselves. 1 plus sine theta whole square plus 1 minus sine theta. We could have directly exploited a property of algebra that a plus b whole square plus a minus b whole square would be simply 2a square plus 2b square, right? Let's, however, do it completely. Let's use the entire formulas of a plus and a minus b whole squares. Oh, sorry. Let's write it again. So 1 plus sine theta whole square is 1 plus sine square theta plus 2 sine theta plus 1 minus sine theta whole square is again 1 plus sine square theta minus 2 sine theta. So as I said, these terms get cancelled upon 2 cos square theta. So our numerator has 2 plus 2 sine square theta. I guess from here it was cakewalk. We can take 2 common. So first term we can write as 2 upon 2 cos square theta plus 2 sin square theta by 2 cos square theta. So all the 2's get cancelled up. 1 upon cos square theta comes as sec square theta, and sin upon cos is again tan square theta. Thus, truth. Simple question, right? The last part of question 5 is again from statistics. Let's get rid of this page first. Just a minute. Okay. So we have been given to find the mean of the data has been given to us. So let's say x bar is 50 and it's a group data. So let's just write the class marks, the middle points of the interval. So 0 to 20 ka class mark is 10, then it's, it's 30, it's 50, odd multiples of 10, right? And lastly 90. So these are the class mark, that is xi, and my frequency, corresponding frequencies are 6. There is one unknown corresponding to 30, f, again it's 8, 12, and again 8. So again we can use the direct method. 10 into 6 is 60, this is 30 into f is 30f, 8 5s are 400, 12 7s are 84, into 10 840, and 9 8s is 720. So barring this 30f, we can add the remaining terms. 0, and that's 6 4 10 to 12, 1 16 20, just a minute, I did something. It's 60 out here, right? 6 4 will be 10. So sorry, I just missed it. Yeah, so 6 4, let's just add it here. The 30f just crept in and created some confusion. Let's be double sure. Do it here. 10 12 1 8 was 16 420, right? 2020 is summation xi fi. We further need summation fi, that is 8 to the 16 plus 6 22 plus 12 is 34 plus f. So what's given, we can form a sequel equation. Mean is equal to summation xi fi, which is 2020 plus we need to add this term also, that is 30f, upon the sum of frequency summation fi, which is 34 plus f. We can simply cross multiply it. 34 5s would be the 20 0 15 1700 plus 50f is equal to 2020 plus 30f, which should give us 50 minus 30 is 20f, and this is 320. 0 cancelled off, f is equal to 60. So we have calculated this missing frequency for the class 20 to 14. It is 60. Okay, having done that, I guess we can probably come to the last question, that is question 6. So as we said, among these 6 questions, students were asked to attempt any 3, but they could not attempt like 2 subparts from some question and other from some other question of part B, right? So now my last question, question 6, part 1 is again a trigonometric identity. Again, we can take the LCM, 1 plus sec theta plus tan square theta whole divided by 1 plus sec theta. Okay. Okay. So 1 plus tan square theta, there's the only identity I can think of right now. So it should be sec square theta plus sec theta. So if I take sec theta common, I should have sec theta plus 1. In the denominator also, I have 1 plus sec theta, which is identical term. So this entire bracketed term gets cancelled off. And in a couple of steps, we come to the RHS, which was only sec theta. This stands. Okay. Coming to the second part from circles. It's just using, I'll just look at the figure itself. The first angle which is asked is angle ADC. This angle, again with a common chord AC, it will make similar angles. So for this angle ABC must be equal to angle AB. The first answer is directly found from it. Second, we are asked CAB. So this angle have been asked. As we can see, this triangle ABC. Could somebody please check? Somebody's microphone is on. Coming to the second part, we have been asked to calculate this angle CAB. As this triangle ABC happens to be in the semicircle, so I am sure that angle C is a 90-degree angle. So I can use the angle sum property of a triangle. This angle is 90, another angle of the triangle is 62. So this third angle should give me 28 degrees, right? Where did I get from? 180 minus 62 plus 90. That is 180 minus 152, which is 28 degree. So my angle CAB came out to be 28 degree, and my angle ADC, that was straightforward, it was angle 62 degree. Let's come to the third part of question 6. Before that, just let me get rid of all the markings. Yeah. Let's see what we have here. It's a question from coordinate geometry. Find the equation of a line parallel to a given line, right? It has to be parallel to 2x plus y minus 7. So as soon as I hear this parallel to this, I know that the slope would be same, right? For parallel lines, we know m1 is equal to m2. Okay. Now, how do we find the slope? We can write it in form of y is equal to mx plus c. That will give me y is equal to minus 2x plus 7. So the coefficient of x written in this form is the slope. So slope of this line already we have is minus 2. So find the line parallel to this line and passing through the intersection of 2 points. So I'll have to solve them simultaneously. I have two equations, x plus y equal to 4 and 2x minus y is equal to 8. We can solve by elimination. We can simply add these equations. Y gets cancelled and 3x comes out equal to 12. That gives me x is equal to 4. Substituting this value in any one of the equation, I get the y coordinate, that is y is equal to 0. So I have already got the point of intersection of these two lines, right? X plus y minus 4 equal to 0 and 2x minus y equal to 8. They intersect at the point 4 comma 0. I need to find the equation of a line passing through 4 comma 0 and given its slope is minus 2. Again, we already used this today. Y minus y1 is equal to n x minus x1. You can synthesize this. So it's y is equal to minus 2x plus 8, or we could simply write 2x plus y is equal to 8. Let's just write besides this 2x plus y minus 8 equal to 0. Obviously, you can see these are definitely straight lines. The coefficients ka ratio are same. So this is the requisite answer for part 3. Let's now come to the last part of this question. Okay. Now use graph paper, draw an ogive and estimate the median. Again, it's a graphical question. So the best, again, I can give you a rough idea. I hope everybody would have done this correctly. Again, I can have my x and f similarly on the x and y axis respectively. I'll take the class intervals 10 to 20, 30 and so on. Now this time I'll take, also sorry, it's the ogive, right? I should not take this 10, 20. Let me just get rid of this. I should take the class mark this time, right? Yeah, so let me take the class marks. First class mark is 15, then it's 25, it's 35 and so on. At the corresponding class mark, we'll mark, let's choose a good scale, whatever it would be, according to figure 2, 4, 6, 8. So first is 3, this would be a point here. For 25, it's a point 8, it would be a point here, and so on. For 35, it's 14. So what we'll have is some sort of a curve maybe going like this, right? Joined with straight lines. So what we do in this case from this ogive method, how do we calculate the median? We first take the tallest point at the peak. Just a minute. First thing what we'll do is we'll need to make a table for cumulative frequencies. So it will be 3, 3 plus 8, 11 plus 14, 25 plus 9 is 34 plus 4 is 38 plus 2 is 40. Basically, I needed the value of n as in the theoretical way to calculate out the median. It's 40. So upon 2 is 20. So I'll see maybe the 20 falls here. I'll draw a line parallel to the x-axis. I'll see where it meets the curve. Let's say it met here. At that point, I'll draw a perpendicular from that point onto the x-axis. This point where it is foot of the perpendicular coincides with the x-axis. This value may be something around 38 point something or whatever. This will give us the method, the median from this graphical method, which you call Arjun, right? So I hope we have in detail discussed the entire question paper. If at all there are any doubts, anything where I went wrong, I'll be more than happy.
Yes, sir. Thank you. We'll take the questions now, sir, if there are any questions left. So I request all the participants to please either unmute yourself or write down the questions in chat box.
If the student has not followed the given scale and reflection graph question, how many marks will be deducted? So for this to be very much clear, we'll have to wait for the marking scheme. Once we go for the checking and we have the marking scheme, but I suppose if it was asked on both the axes and it's a 3-marker question, a student might lose half marks for not doing the question according to the appropriate scale. That is what I think. Okay, somebody already wrote like collinear means slopes of AB is equal to slope of BC. Yeah, okay, definitely that question, the only question I guess I skipped, right? If we have 3 points A, B, C and we need to show them to be collinear, we can form an equation of line using these 2 points, maybe AB, and then again using these 2 points with the 2-point formula, right? We have that again y minus y1 is equal to y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1, which gives us slope multiplied by x minus x1. So we can respectively find the slopes of these 2 points. We might not even need to find the equation of the line. We can just find the slope y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1. If these two are same line, their slopes would be equal. However, this is not the most accurate method because there could be lines like these. Okay. What is the answer for this? Question number 2 Okay, I'll have to go back to the slides once. Just spare me a moment. Yeah. Somebody was talking about question 2. Let me just get back to it once. Yeah, we have the chat. Question number 2. Yeah, here we have it. You're asking me the answer for this, right? Somebody gave me the answer is 9. We can just cross check quickly. Let me just do it once. Okay, I'll have to do it here. I cannot erase the formatting anymore. So the slope of AB can be written as 4 minus 3, 1 upon 7 minus that 2a plus 2. That will give me 5 minus 2a. It's the slope of AB. It has to be slope equal to slope of any other 2 points. Let's take BC. Again, 4 minus 2 is just a minute. 4 minus 2 would be 2. And 7 minus this again will be 2 minus 2a. We can cross multiply. It's 10 minus 4a is equal to 2 minus 2a, which gives me 2a is equal to 8. I'm getting the value of a as 4. The value of a came out to be 4. Okay, and somebody corrected me like 40 degrees is not a mistake. They have been taught to use the logbooks. So yeah, definitely they will calculate the value of tan 40 from the logbooks, and that question accordingly this 100 upon x. So obviously whatever the value for tan 40, 0.9, 0.8, whatever comes out to be. Any other doubts if we have?
I guess no, sir. All the questions are cleared and there are no further questions in my chat box. Right, sir. I think We will end the webinar now. We have covered almost everything. With this, we would like to thank you, and special thanks to all the participants who were present here. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jitin.